Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurvani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. So we're studying from Canto 10, Isamam Bonam, chapter 14, Brahma's prayers to Lord Krishna, and verse number 23. Ekastvamatma Purusha Purana Satya Swayam Jyotiranta Adya Nityoksharo Jashrasukho Niranjanaha Purnadvayo Mukta Upadito Mritaha. Word to word, ekaha, one. So, my request would be that when I'm reciting, or when even someone else is reciting this word to word, even if we are doing other things and we are on mute, we can just repeat the word to word. So as Viraj Prabhu says, that word to word is a very important aspect of our study of Srimad Bhagavatam, because Prabhupada, he gives word to word translation in different ways according to the context of the verse and according to the context of the situation. So, of course, you don't have to unmute yourself, keep yourself muted, but just repeat after me, because the time lag also between what I speak and when you hear is different, but try your best. So synonym word to word translation, ekaha, one, tvam, you, atma, the supreme soul, purushaha, the supreme person, puranaha, the oldest, satyaha, the absolute truth, swayam jyoti, self-manifested, anantaha, without end, adyaha, without beginning, nityaha, eternal, aksharaha, indestructible, ajasra sukhaha, whose happiness cannot be obstructed, niranjanaha, devoid of contamination, purna, complete, advayaha, without a second, muktaha, free, upadhitaha, from all the material designations, amritaha, deathless. Translation and purport by the disciples of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. You are the one Supreme Soul, the primeval Supreme Personality, the Absolute Truth, self-manifested, endless and beginningless. You are eternal and infallible, perfect and complete, without any rival and free from all material designations. Your happiness can never be obstructed, nor have you any connection with material contamination. Indeed, you are the indestructible nectar of immortality. Such an amazing verse where Brahmaji is glorifying so many aspects of the Lord, so many qualities, so many features of the Lord. If someone wants to read the purport, please unmute yourself.
I can read it.
Yes.
Srila Sridhar Swami explains how the various terms of this verse demonstrate that the transcendental body of Lord Krishna is free from the characteristics of material bodies. All material bodies go through 6 phases: birth, growth, maturity, reproduction, decline, and destruction. But Lord Krishna does not take material birth, since he is the original reality. A fact clearly indicated here by the word adya, original. We take our material birth within a particular material atmosphere in material bodies that are amalgamations of various material elements. Since Lord Krishna existed long before the creation of any material atmosphere or element, there is no question of material birth for this transcendental body. Similarly, the word Purna, meaning full and complete, refutes the concept that Lord Krishna could grow, since he is ever existing in fullness. When one's material body becomes mature, one can no longer enjoy as in youth, but the words ajasra sukha, enjoying unobstructed happiness, indicate that Lord Krishna's body never reaches so-called middle age, since it is always full of spiritual, youthful bliss. The word akshar, undiminishing, refutes the possibility that Lord Krishna's body grows old or declines, and the word Amrit, immortal, negates the possibility of death. In other words, Lord Krishna's transcendental body is free from the transformations of material bodies. The Lord does, however, create innumerable worlds and expand himself as innumerable living entities. But the Lord's so-called reproduction is completely spiritual and does not take place at a certain phase of bodily existence. Rather, it constitutes the Lord's eternal proclivity to expand his spiritual bliss and glories. As the Lord states in Shruti Purvam Evaham Ihasam, I alone existed in the beginning. Therefore, here the Lord is called Purusha Purana, the primeval enjoyer. The original Purusha expands himself as the Supersoul and enters every living being. Still, he is ultimately the absolute truth, Krishna, as stated in the Gopal Tapani Upanishad. Yashakta para brahmeti govindam Sachidananda Vigraham Vrindavana Sura Buruha Talashinam. The absolute truth himself is Govinda, who has an eternal form of bliss and knowledge, and who's sitting beneath the shady desire trees of Vrindavan. This absolute truth is beyond material ignorance and beyond even ordinary spiritual knowledge, as stated in the same Gopala Tapani Shruti, Vidya Vidyabhyam Bina. Thus, in many ways, the supremacy of Lord Krishna has been established in the Vedic literature, and it is here confirmed by Lord Brahma himself. Thank you.
Yes. So, Brahma, in the first verse, when he started his prayers, he said, my Lord, the only objective of my prayers is to please you. So, in this verse, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur actually, gives us a bit of a more insight. He says, yes, when Brahma is starting to pray, of course, Brahma has, tried to sort of challenge the Lord, and Krishna, being magnanimous, he's now still continuing to tease Lord Brahma. So these are the qualities which Brahma prays. Then, you are Ekatma. Brahma says, you are Ekatma. That means you are the supreme soul. Then Krishna says, yeah, but supreme soul has no form. He's not a person. But you say, I'm a person. Am I a young person? So Krishna asks. Brahma says, no. You are Adya. You are the oldest. You are the original. And then Krishna says, okay, if I'm, son of Nanda and Yashoda, that means I'm a young boy. How can I be the oldest? So, Brahma says then, yeah, it is true that you're son of Nanda, but also it is true that you exist eternally. You are Satya and you are the oldest person, Purusha, the Purusha Purana. As in Brahma Samhita says, Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So this way, each and every word of this verse, Brahma and Krishna are trying to debate. Krishna is trying to tease Brahma, and Brahma says, no. So Krishna says, okay, even though I'm a supreme person, but supreme person is the creator of time, he's creating karma, he's creating everything else. But how is this possible? That's me. Brahma with folded hands says, Krishna, my Lord, please do not argue. You are self-effulgent, Swayam Jyotihi. Then Krishna again says, he's just trying to continue the teasing. He says, Swayam Jyotihi, like the sun, but sun is limited within a certain area of space. Brahma immediately says, no, my Lord. You are not limited by any space, time, or any other factor. You are Ananta. You are limitless. So this way, Krishna and Brahma are debating. Brahma is trying to glorify him, and Krishna is trying to tease him by refuting all the glories what Brahma is offering him. Now, we know this chapter is called Prayers of Lord Brahma. And if we just analyze prayers, before that, I want to just understand that These pastimes of Krishna, as we know, Bhaktivinoda Thakur has given us that when Krishna is, one by one, taking care of, annihilating, killing all the demons. So these demons are also relevant in our lives, because these demons, as Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, they are representing the anarthas which we have in our lives. So please note these anarthas compared to the demons, and see, we should meditate as to, yes, whether I have this demon in my heart, whether I have this anartha in my heart. The first one Krishna killed was Putana, and Putana represents the pseudo guru, the guru who comes in a different form and he tries to take advantage of the situation. So Putana came like that. When Krishna killed Shakatasura, Shakatasura is burden of bad habits. When Krishna killed Trinavarta, Trinavarta represents false pride from scholarship. Right now it's okay, but when we start giving classes, when we start learning verses, when we start reciting verses, we should be very aware that we should not be representing Trinavrata, that we should not have false pride from scholarship. That way, all the demons are being represented by all these anarthas. And Brahma, when Brahma is stealing the cowherd boys and the calves, the anartha is mundane activities and speculation. So this mundane activities, when we enter and when we speculate, is Krishna God? Am I really a servant? When we start speculating and we start indulging in mundane activities, then that is representing the mentality of Brahma, which is stealing to hinder the pastimes of Krishna. If you also analyze that prayers, when we talk of prayers, very interesting, when we are always told, Prabhu, please pray, Mataji, please pray for me. We should understand what are the elements of prayers. There are 4 elements of prayers. The first element is what we call praise. So here Brahma is praising Krishna. And many times we see the devotees in Srīmad Bhāgavatam, they're praising Krishna. Like, for example, Kunti Maharani. Kunti Maharani says, Atha Vishveshwa Vishvatman Vishwa Murte Swakeshu Me Sneha Pasham Imam Chindi Dridham Pandushu Vrishnishu. So Kunti Maharani, when Krishna is leaving Hastinapur to go back to his own abode, Dwarka, Kunti Maharani is coming out and she's praising Krishna. In this verse, she's not only praising Krishna, but she's also using the other element of prayers, that is asking for something from Krishna. When we pray, sometimes we ask also from Krishna, not something material, but something spiritual. Please remove all my anarthas. Please help me in advancing in devotional service. Please help me in doing this service for you. Please help this devotee, like that. So Kunti Maharani says, Atha Vishvesha. Vishvesha means Vishva Isha, O Lord of the universe. Vishwatman, O soul of the universe, like how Brahma is praying, you are the soul of the universe. Vishwamurte. Vishwamurte means, O personality of the universal form. And then she says, what she wants from Krishna? Sneha Pasham Imam Chindi. With who? Sneha Pasham. Sneha Pasham means the attachment to my own kinsmen. And who are Kunti Maharani's kinsmen? Pandushu Vrishnishu. And what is the quality of Sneha Pash? It's Dridham. Dridham means very tight rope of affection for my kinsmen, Pandus and Vrishnis. Even though, of course, we know that Kunti Maharani herself, Pandus and Vrishnis, they are eternal associates of Krishna. But still, Kunti Maharani is giving us a lesson here that we should pray to Krishna. So this is one of the elements that, yes, we praise Krishna, at the same time, we ask for Krishna. So praise is one element of prayer. Second element is thanksgiving. We thank Krishna for whatever is given us. Many devotees, they are thanking Krishna. And one devotee was saying that he was chanting for many, many years. And one time he just, realized that actually we are asking Krishna, Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu, Lord Nityananda Prabhu for so many things. But if we just offer our gratitude to Krishna, that Krishna, for so many lifetimes, I have not, taken your name. Even in this lifetime, for so many years, I have not taken your name. And now, somehow, with your mercy, with the spiritual master's mercy, I've been able to take your name. I want to thank you for that. And then the devotee says that just after that, his chanting got so much better. So thanksgiving is another aspect of another element of prayers. The third one is prayers with request by the devotees, as we just discussed. That Kunti Maharani is asking that I request you that you please, the Sneha Pasham Dridam Chindam, that you please cut the Sneha Pasham for my kinsmen. So devotees, they pray for many things. One time, one devotee was telling me that when someone asks you to pray, you should actually pray immediately. Why? Because yes, we can say prayer, I will pray for you, but then in our normal life, we forget to pray. So when someone asks me to pray for something, I immediately stop, pray in my mind, and then tell the devotee, yes, I prayed for you immediately. And Urmila Mataji has written a very nice article on what we should pray for. I read it in long time back in a Back to Godhead magazine. And then the last one is prayers asking for forgiveness. So when we have done something, we ask for forgiveness. So these four elements are praise, thanksgiving, prayers with request by the devotees, and then asking for forgiveness. So we have seen that Brahmaji is continuing the prayers, and he is describing the Lord in many, many ways here. Krishna Prabhupada's disciples, they in the purport, they are talking that his original, full and complete, as we see in Brahma Samhita, Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. And the word Akshara, undiminishing. Undiminishing means it refutes the possibility that Lord Krishna's body grows old or declines. As we see that in Krishna's pastimes, he goes through Pauganda Leela, Kaumara Leela, and Kaishori Leela, but he never grows beyond Kishore Vaya, and he is Amrita. So this is where Brahma describes all the qualities of Lord Krishna. Any questions or in reflection on this one? No? Now we understand that even the prayers which Brahma is offering, Krishna says in the third canto that as we know, Krishna is the only doer. So Krishna actually tells Brahma in the third canto that these prayers which you have chanted in praising the glories of my activities, right, the penances you are undertaking, and the firm faith in me, where have this come from? And Krishna says that all these are to be considered my causeless mercy. So without Krishna's mercy, we cannot even chant prayers. And we know in prayers, there are two types of prayers Prabhupada described to us. One is the standard prayers from the Vedic scriptures, and the most important of them all is the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So that is the most important prayer. And of course, when we chant our rounds, we should meditate also on the meaning of the mantra, mantrartha chintana. Mantrartha chintana means to meditate, to deliberate on the meaning of the Maha Mantra. And then there are so many other prayers given in the scriptures, especially Srīmad Bhāgavatam, prayers by Shukdev Goswami, prayers by Kunti Maharani, prayers by Arjuna. So many prayers are given, and when we follow these prayers. But then on the other side, there are personal prayers. Of course, there's always a debate whether we should just stick to the prayers given by the scriptures, or whether we should also form our own prayers. When we are praying to the Lord, we should be very careful that we are not praying for anything material, because sometimes the Lord fulfills, not sometimes, many times, most times, Lord fulfills the devotee's prayers, and then it might come in a very different manner, that which we are not expecting. So we move on to the next verse, text number 24. Evam vidham tvam sakalatmanam api swatmanam atmatmataya vichakshate Guruvar kalabdhopanishatu chakshusha yete tarantiva bhava nritam buddhim. Does someone want to read the word to word and then someone else with the translation and purport, please?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I will read the word to word.
Thank you, Mataji.
Evam vidham, as thus described. Svam, you, Sakhala, of all, Atmanam, souls, Api, indeed, Swa Atmanam, the very soul, Atma Atmataya, as the supreme super soul, which Vichakshate, they see, Guru from the spiritual master, Arka, who is like the sun, Labdha, received, Upanishad, of confidential knowledge, Suchakshusa, by the perfect eye, Ehu, say they, Haranti, cross over, Eva, easily, Bhava, of material existence, Anartha, which is not real, Abudhim, the ocean.
Ambudhim.
Ambudhim.
Ambudha means ocean. Does anyone wants to read the translation and purport, please?
I can read, Prabhu, if you like.
Thank you.
Those who received the clear vision of knowledge from the sun-like spiritual master can see you in this way as the very soul of the souls, the super soul of everyone's own self. Thus, understanding your original personality, they are able to cross over the ocean of illusionary material science. Hare Krishna.
Existence. Yes, yes. So, yes, go ahead with the purport, Prabhu. Please go ahead to the
Yep.
purport, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Purport.
As confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 4.9, Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tattvataha tvakva deham punarjanma naiti mam iti so Arjuna. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Thank you. So this verse, as we know, was one of the most quoted verses by Srila Prabhupada. Janma karma chame divyam evam yo veti tattvataha tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mam eti so Arjuna. So again, Brahma ji is saying that this vision, where should we get the vision? Those who have received the clear vision of knowledge from the sun-like spiritual master. So obviously Prabhupada has established a system in ISKCON that, we have spiritual master and they are actually enlightening us and enlightening us so that we can see Krishna, the soul of all souls and the super soul of everyone's own self. When in the Bhagavad Gita, in the 4th chapter, the famous verse, Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya, when Krishna is talking about approaching a spiritual master, and then he says, yes, you approach a spiritual master with, a humble attitude. You inquire from the spiritual master submissively, and you serve the spiritual master. So, of course, the spiritual master is more interested in us serving the mission. We have to, of course, from our side also serve the spiritual master personally, but spiritual master is more interested in serving the mission. Interestingly, the verse after that, Krishna again, he clarifies that, okay, if you approach the spiritual master and you have the knowledge, then what happens? Then Krishna says, Yagyatva na punarmoham evam yasyasi pandava yana bhutani yashashani drakshashi atmani athamai. So, very nicely, Krishna tells Arjuna that yes, once you have obtained the real knowledge from a self-realized soul, he says, punar moham. There's no punar moham, no punar moham. You will never fall again into such illusion. Why? Krishna says, for by this knowledge, you will see that everyone is a part of the Lord, and in other words, everyone is mine. So when we see the presence of Lord Krishna in every living being, We are not in moha anymore. There's no illusion because we see everyone is a part and parcel of the Lord. In the 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, what is the verse? 15,
Nirmana
15:8.
moha.
Which one?
Nirmana
No,
moha.
15:8. Where Krishna says,
Mame Vansho Jivaloke.
yes, Mame Vansho Jiva Loke, Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. Yes. So we can see Krishna in everyone. So this way, once we approach a spiritual master, once we talk about Krishna, this way we can, try to understand Krishna. It is not a process which will happen immediately. It is a very gradual process, as Prabhupada says, gradually and progressively. So before we leave, does anyone want to recite the 8th verse? We've got 1 minute. So if anyone wants to recite the 8th verse, which Viraj Prabhu very fondly wanted us to recite. So let's continue that tradition. And if anyone wants to recite, please unmute yourself.
Can I try, Prabhu?
Yes, definitely.
Tatte nukampam nushamekshamano bhunjan evatmakritam vipakam ridvagavapubir vidadhan namaste jivetayo mukti pade sadaya bhak.
Yes, beautiful. Thank you, Mataji. So here the word used is vidadhan. Vidadhan means offering, and there's another word called vyavadhan. Vyavadhan means separation. One of the offenses of chanting is when we think of vyavadhan, that means separation from Krishna. That Krishna and Krishna's names are separate. No, Krishna has given all his potency in his holy name. So Brahma is continuing his prayers. And tomorrow again we'll just touch base on the 24th verse and continue from there. So thank you everyone for joining, Prabhus and Matajis. You have a wonderful Krishna conscious day. Just try to meditate during the day what we studied. If there's any reflection, please share with me. If there's any faults also, please share with me. As they say in advertising, if you like something about me or the Bhagavatam, please tell others. If there's any fault in me, please come back to me. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you so
Srila
much.
Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.